In this video, I'm going to share a simple story that was profound in changing some lives. I needed to find out how to tell people from across a campus that they mattered and that they were valuable without shouting across the campus, "I love you." I found a way. How do you shout across a crowded campus, "I love you," without every head having to turn, without stealing attention? When I worked with at-risk teenage boys as a house father, whenever a new guy moved into the house, I would tell the guy how things would work around here. And at the end of that meeting, I told them I made a decision about them. I told them, "I love you." And it wasn't from anything they had done. Heck, we just met. But it was my decision and my choice. And just as they had done nothing to earn it, there's nothing they can do to ever change it. It was now permanent. My role was to guide them, support them, and showed them that they were valued. I knew saying "I love you" was risky business, especially with teenage boys. However, I wanted to get their defenses down as soon as possible, break down the walls, and frankly, they could use some loving in their lives. We had anywhere from 8 to 12 boys in the house at one time. There was a school at this ranch, and shouting "I love you" across the campus was definitely not appropriate. But I knew I needed a way to convey how much I cared and how much I was excited that they were alive. When I was walking and I saw one of my guys across the yard, I would raise my hands high to signal "I love you" without shouting across campus. It became a powerful, simple yet powerful idea. I told the guys that every time I saw them, I would thrust my arms over my head as a signal of how excited I was to see them and how much they meant to me. No words, just action. The gesture was simple and unmistakable, and most importantly, genuine. The first time I did it, I could tell they weren't quite sure how to respond, and they didn't need to. Teenagers are often skeptical of new things, especially when it involves adult expressing care. But I stuck with it. Every time I saw them, whether they were walking to class, playing on the field, or just passing by, I'd raise my arms high and beam at them. It didn't take long for the magic to happen. Eventually, they started doing it back. They'd do it first. More and more, they would join in, and I guess word spread across the campus. Pretty soon, guys not even from my house would start raising their hands, and the gesture had taken a life on its own. It spread like wildfire across the ranch. Guys were raising their arms to each other. Pretty soon, staff members began to adopt it as well, using it as a universal symbol of connection and encouragement. What started as a personal way to express love and excitement became a ranch-wide tradition. Word got around. I would get asked about it from other guys and staff. Pretty soon, arms were up all over the place. I guess you could say we were up in arms. I remember one moment in particular that solidified for me just how impactful this simple gesture had become. One of the guys was having a really tough day. He'd isolated himself, and I could tell he was carrying the weight of the world, or at least something heavy. The principal of the school asked me if I could talk to him, or at least see what was going on. From across the yard, I saw him sitting on a bench all alone. I saw him glance up and noticed me. I raised my arms in the air, as I always did. And for a moment he hesitated, and slowly a small smile crept across his face, and he raised his arms back. It was a moment of connection, a reminder that he wasn't alone, that someone cared. The beauty of the gesture was its simplicity. It didn't require words, which can sometimes feel too vulnerable or insufficient sometimes. It was just a movement, but it carried so much weight, so much meaning. It communicated excitement, love, and belonging in a way that everyone could understand. This experience taught me an important lesson. Love doesn't always need to be loud or elaborate. Sometimes the simplest actions can have the greatest impact. By raising my arms, I wasn't just greeting a young man. I was telling him, "I see you, you matter, and you are loved." The ripple effect of that small act still inspires me today, and hopefully those guys who are now adults. It's a reminder that we all have the power to create connection and positivity in our communities. We don't have to shout our love from the rooftops, though there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a small, consistent gesture is all it takes to make a difference. I encourage you to think about your own unique ways that you might be able to show love and excitement for the people in your life as they come in the door, or you see them from across the campus. Maybe it's a high five or a hand on the shoulder, or even your own version of arms raised high. Whatever it is, let it be genuine, Let it be consistent, and watch how it transforms the people around you. At that boys' ranch, arms raised became more than just a gesture. It became a symbol of connection, a tradition, and a reminder that even in the hardest times, we're all in it together. And that's something I'll carry with me forever. I'm Mike Sansone of Reaching Hearts, and I'm on a mission to inspire a world where love isn't just a feeling, it's a daily practice. If you like this video, please subscribe, punch the like below. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you might be able to communicate love from across the campus. Share it within the comments below, and if you're interested in more discussions on this kind of thing, be sure to check out my other videos. I'm just getting started here. We'll see you next time.